Welcome to Trading Nation. I'm Seema Modi. Two hotel operators are out with earnings Wednesday. Hilton before the bell, Hyatt after the market closes. Those stocks rebounding since last year's lows. An impressive turnaround given their businesses have been hit hard by the pandemic. But with formidable contender Airbnb flexing its muscle, is this the right trade for the travel rebound? I'm joined by Bill Baruch of Blue Line Capital, Delano Saparu of New Street Advisors. Great to have you both on. Delano, what do you make of this huge comeback that we've seen in these hotel stocks since the March lows?
Thanks, Seema. Yeah, you're right. There's been a huge comeback, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not a buyer here. So as you mentioned, competition is around. So obviously with Airbnb, and I'm thinking about the post-pandemic behaviors of consumers. So I know if I'm going to travel, I may want to stay with more of a family or friend where I know it can control that environment better than being in a hotel with around a lot more people. So I think those are things that have to be considered. Hilton's already trading near pre-pandemic levels as far as the price. So I think this is some things that is keeping me out of these names right now.
Bill, these hotel stocks, they really play into this reopening trade, this bet that as the vaccine gets rolled out and travel restrictions hopefully get lifted, that will sort of instill confidence in travelers and therefore benefit these hotels. Do you believe that thesis will sort of ring true here in 2021?
Well, anything is possible because these two stocks have already exceeded my expectations and those of many others. I mean, they are, like you said, they're the heartbeat of the reopening trade, of the stimulus that we've seen. But with that said, as we look into quarter4 earnings, the bar is already set pretty low. And through quarter4, there were new lockdowns, restrictions, not only in the U.S., but in Europe and other parts of the world that also impacted those earnings. But also when you look at it, you go into last year, some of those revenue per room rates were already down 33%. So again, the bar is very low here. So what am I looking at on a technical basis? As I trade the charts very technically, you have a nice consolidation. Both these stocks and a lot of those reopening stocks ripped higher on after the November 6th close. That Monday it reopened after the Pfizer news. So that brought a big floor. Both of these stocks, Hilton and Hyatt, have traded very well out above those levels and consolidating. You basically have Hilton on the verge of a new breakout, and that's constructive. But we have to see those breakouts first, get through these earnings, see where we are. Now, I don't want to chase these stocks, and I like to pick my spots. I actually prefer Expedia over these two, and Expedia has already broken out above its trendline resistance, holding a very similar consolidation above the gap from November 9th. I think it's very, very constructive. But when you also look at Expedia as a online seller, as competition, you have Vrbo in the portfolio there. So you have a good diversification within Expedia, and that Vrbo could compete with the Airbnb pocket. So I like that going forward. Still, I'm not in Expedia. I didn't think it would take off as quick as it has. So I'm reevaluating where it is. But out above 130, it's in a breakout, and the next stop could be 160.
Yeah, Expedia trading at its best level since 2017. As the CEO told me last week, they're seeing strong growth in Vrbo. Which would you rather invest in, Delano? Back to you, Expedia or Airbnb on this bet on vacation rentals, which clearly has been one sector that has done well amid this pandemic?
Yeah, and that sector has done well. For me, I kind of iffy on both of those and would want to reevaluate. If I had to pick, I like Airbnb here just because I'm seeing, growth being used on that platform and with adoption of that platform. But I also like, when going back to travel, Delta is something that we've been reevaluating and looking at. From that standpoint, we think that it's going to be something that you have few options, and people are getting more comfortable with flying again, and that's why we like it. You're seeing the TSA say numbers for checkpoints and screening is increasing over the last couple of weeks. So that's something that I think is really great for Delta.